Hey there folks, this is the Uniform Guy again, here with another review, and in this video we're going to be talking about a unit-specific combat helmet as opposed to a military-wide combat helmet. The particular one came in between the Mark 6A and the Mark 7, and it's the one in the middle of the screen and is called the Combat Helmet EOD. The helmet to the right of the screen being the Mark 6A and the helmet to the left of the screen being the Mark 7. Now I like to look at this helmet as a unit-specific modification to the Mark 6, as it has more similarities to the Mark 6A than it does the Mark 7. So obviously starting off, the Combat Helmet EOD, like the Mark 6A, is Kevlar, so it's both thicker and heavier than the Mark 6 itself. It also, as you can see, has a rough black exterior, the same rough black exterior that the Mark 6A has. We'll just uncover it there. Another thing that the Mark 6A features is capped off pre-drilled holes on both sides where a visor like this would be fixed to if required. Now if we look at the inside of the Combat Helmet EOD, we can see a 3-point harness with a webbing cradle at the top of the liner. And if we look at the Mark 6A, again we have a 3-point harness with a webbing cradle at the top of the liner. Now, just want to show the label, if I can get it in focus. There we go. Helmet Combat EOD. Now the weird thing about this is its chin strap is in a black webbing, and it's certainly not as tough as the webbing straps in the Mark 6A or indeed the Mark 7, but we know this is the one that it came issued with because it matches the sort of webbing, matches the cradle adjustment webbing. This helmet is brand new, completely unissued. Another interesting thing is if we move the adjustment webbing out the way, I don't know if you can see it there, it's also under there. There's Velcro, which goes all the way around the back. I believe this is to allow the fixing of a nape protector. However, I've not actually seen a nape protector for this particular helmet. Also, oddly enough, the label in the Combat Helmet EOD is placed in the same place the label's put in the Mark 6, but not the Mark 6A. Mark 6A's label is hidden, where are we, just behind the liner. I don't know if you can see it there, it's not showing up that much. But on here it says that, yeah, this one entered service in 2008. It's also in the same place the Mark 7 has its label, which on this one can't even be accessed. But you may be able to see it just, angle this right, just there. You can see the top of the label there. Obviously this helmet itself, even though it's called Combat Helmet EOD, was not made for the bomb disposal suits. It was more intended as a combat helmet to be worn by the guys that carried the Vallon, or even possibly the guys that offered close protection to the EOD officer. It has got some other changes to the Mark 6A, which is it's got a higher cut. So I was going to rotate the visor back, but what I'll actually do is take the visor off, because with the thick rubber seal, the visor can't go all the way back. But cut is slightly higher than that of the Mark 6A. So this obviously comes up a lot more than this does. It also does away with the pronounced bulge on the side here. Whereas, as I said, this has a bulge here, mainly for where the brackets would go, also possibly for ear defenders. This is completely smooth and the brackets are now angled. There's also a thick retaining strap that goes around the outside of the helmet, which has Velcro fitted to it, but the helmet doesn't. I'm not entirely sure the intention of that strap, to be honest with you. I haven't been able to find out much of it. But also the other difference is the thick rubber band that is glued on the bottom. Now this helmet is thicker than the Mark 6A. I don't know if that shows up good on camera, but it is a good 100%, or a good 150% thickness of the Mark 6A. Obviously because it's for bomb disposal troops, there's a lot more Kevlar in there, although oddly enough, the Mark 6A does feel heavier. I don't know if that's something to do with obviously the higher cut and the deletion of these parts, or it might just be my hands playing tricks on me. I think actually, it feels about the same way as a Mark 7, but it is still Kevlar. It's quite rigid, quite solid. Now, from what I've seen, these helmets aren't too common, so it's a nice little addition to be able to have in the collection and show and give a little look into different helmets for different operations and different theatres. Hopefully that hopefully gives you a nice little look into that helmet and you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.